Hello and welcome back to the reading of Beginner's Guide to SriVaishnavam. We are on chapter 12. This is about Periyazhwar. On a beautiful Sunday morning, Andal Party sat in the Thinnai veranda outside her house and made garland for Perumal. Vyasa and Parasara come and sit on the Thinnai and ask Andal Party as they watch her curiously, "What are you doing, Party?" Andal Party says, "I'm making a garland for Perumal. That reminds me of a couple of Arvars. Would you like me to tell you about them now?" "Sure, Party. We are eagerly waiting for that." "That's like my boy. Then let me tell you about Periyazhwar. He was born in Ani month, Swati Nakshatram in SriVilliputtur. He was also called as Pattapiran. He used to make garlands for Vadabhadrasai Emperuman. One fine day, the king who ruled the Pandyan kingdom threw open a challenge to the scholars. He announced that he will award a bag full of gold coins to anyone who can establish who the supreme god is. Vyasa then says, "That would be very difficult, isn't it, Patti?" Patti says, "It wasn't so for Periyazhwar. Due to his bhakti and the mercy of Perumal, he went to the king's court and established that Perumal is almighty through Vedam. The king was so happy that he gave Periyazhwar the prize money and sent him through the streets of Madurai on a royal elephant." "That would have been a sight to watch, Party." "Yes, Parasara, that was. And that is why Perumal himself came down from Paramapadam riding his Garuda. Even though Periyazhwar was riding on top of an elephant, he was ever so humble and was worried about the safety of Perumal. So he sang Tirupallandu to ensure Perumal is protected. That's how he came to be known as Periyazhwar. He also sang Periyazhwar Tirumozhi." Vyasa says, "Oh, yes, Party, Pallandu Pallandu sounds familiar. That is what we recite every day in the beginning. We have heard it in the temple." "Yes, you're right, Vyasa. Periyazhwar's Tirupallandu is always recited in the beginning and end too." "That's nice, Party. We will also learn it and start reciting it in front of Perumal. I'm sure you'll start doing that very soon. By the way, he was also the father of Andal, the one who sang the most popular Tiruppavi. We'll tell you more about Andal later. Come, let's go and offer the garland to Perumal." Andal Patti finished making the garland and started towards Sri Ranganathan temple along with Vyasa and Parasara to offer it to Perumal.
This chapter tells us about Periyazhwar, who was known as Vishnu Chitta in his young days. His parents named him as Vishnu Chitta, and his bhakti was towards Bhagavan Krishna. He was impressed by the service of Malakar, and he decided to do the service of offering garland to Perumal. So, and he considered that was the greatest service to Bhagavan. He had a beautiful garden in SriVilliputtur, and he used to pluck flowers every day and make beautiful garlands and offer to Bhagavan. This is how he was spending his life. One day, Perumal appeared in his dream and he said, "You have to go to the Pandya king's palace and give him answer for his question." Periyazhwar didn't know what to do. He asked, "What? I didn't have any formal education. How can I answer him?" Then Perumal said, "No, you just leave it to me. You just think of me and go there. You will be getting the answer and you can deliver it to the king." So as per the instructions given by Perumal, Periyazhwar went to that palace. The king one day, he was walking, that is during night time, he was going on as a check to find out the proper functioning of the government. And he saw a Brahmin sitting on the roadside and he was saying something. Then king asked him, "Who are you?" And he said, "I'm coming from Ganges. I had a bath in Ganga." And he said, "You work in youth and save for your old life. You work in summer and save for your winter. And you work hard in this life to have good afterlife, to have good afterlife, and you search for the ultimate truth in this birth. So the king got confused. He couldn't find the answer for this. So he went back to his palace and asked his minister SriVaishnavam to know the answer. What is ultimate truth? And what is afterlife? How to reach that? Then SriVaishnavam arranged for a conference. He invited all the scholars from all over the country, and he also announced a prize scheme. Whoever gives the answer correctly, he will be given the prize. So, Bhagavan asked Periyazhwar to come to this spot to give the answer. Then Periyazhwar also went there and he saw all the scholars, and he was not confident about himself and he felt out of the place. Then he started answering, and when a seat was offered by the king to Periyazhwar, he was so thrilled and he didn't know what to do. And suddenly he started saying, so he was giving out the answer to the king. So he was talking about the Paratattvam. So he was saying about Sriman Narayana. He is the one. You have to surrender to him. And he is the one who is there after your life. So this Paratattva Nishkarshanam was understood by the king, and he was so happy that he got the answer, and he awarded him with gold, a bag of gold, and he was taken in a procession on an elephant around the streets. And Bhagavan wanted to see his child, that is Periyazhwar, coming on elephant. So he appeared with his concerts on Garuda, and Periyazhwar saw this, and he was scared actually, because if people, and they all look at Bhagavan with his concerts, they may throw any dosham on him. So he didn't want that. So to remove that dosham, he sang Pallandu Pallandu Pallayirattandu. That is why he got that name Periyazhwar. He removed the drishti of Bhagavan. So he got the name Periyazhwar. So Periyazhwar was known for his bhakti. His Periyazhwar, in his Pasurams in Periyazhwar Tirumozhi, he imagines himself as Yashoda and calls Krishna for Neeradal, for all the activities. Vishnu Chittar, who came to be known as Periyazhwar and later called by the king as Pattabiran, and he got many other names. Pandiyan Kondada Pattabiran Vandan என்று இந்திய சங்கம் எடுத்துத வேண்டிய வேதங்கள் ஓதி விரைந்து கிழியறுத்தான் பாதங்கள் யாமுடைய பற்று. So these are the names Periyazhwar got. So he was known as Vishnu Chittar by his parents, and later he got the name Periyazhwar, Pattabiran, Srivilliputtooர் கோன், கிழியறுத்தான் புதுவைக்கோன். So let's sing his pasurams and get his blessings. So the Mangalasasanam, here we learned the term Mangalasasanam. What is Mangalasasanam? Mangalasasanam, it is singing in praise of Bhagavan. So all these Alvars performed Mangalasasanams.